Hey guys, what is up? It's your girl, Grace Story, and I am back with a whole new podcast episode. I am sick, as you can tell. Things are a little congested, so I'm not gonna be doing anything like crazy. I'm gonna probably be doing Am I the A-hole? Not probably, I'm definitely doing Am I the A-hole? And they're gonna be like work related / work themed. So yeah, as you can see, I'm a little worse for wear, a little sick. I just got back from Oklahoma City after like 2 weeks, and I forgot to film an extra episode, so that's why this one's gonna be a little bit late. I was gonna film it as soon as I got back, but then I was really sick and couldn't get out of bed. So today's the first day that my voice is back. I don't know how recognizable, how good it's gonna be, how long I can go, but we're gonna try it out. Yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. I hope you guys have had some good days. Everything's been good on your end. While I've kind of been a little MIA. I'm just trying to get back on track, get, everything back to the way it was before I left. So that's what I'm currently working on here. But enough about me. Let's just go ahead and dive on into today's episode. Before we do jump in, don't forget to follow on whatever platform you're currently listening or watching on. I usually upload every single Sunday and Wednesday, but while I'm in the busier season for my job and trying to figure out what the heck I'm doing, we're just doing Sundays right now. But this one's a little bit late, so that's why it's coming out now and not on Sunday. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump on it.
I'm Grace Story, and you're listening to That Girl the Podcast. Grab a beverage of choice and settle in, because the new episode is starting now.
So this one is titled, Am I the A-hole for calling my coworker work sister after she called me work husband in front of everyone? I, 34 male, work in a small office, and we have about 30 people working here. Mary, 35 female, is one of my coworkers. We have been working together for 6 years now. We have 6 people in our department. We have to frequently travel across the state as our work involves overseeing government projects. We always travel in a group of 2. Although my travel partner changes based on the project, Mary and I are generally put on smaller projects and enjoy each other's company. My wife also likes Mary. Overall, we have a very healthy work relationship. On to the incident. Yesterday we had a happy hour in our office, and we were all drinking after work hours and chatting. It was a group of around 10 people that stayed back. Mary was blabbering about how we both have been traveling together so much in the last year. She was roasting me for my habits while traveling, like always forgetting stuff in my hotel room, being sweaty and stinky when I joined her for breakfast in mornings, because he goes to the hotel gym. Everyone was laughing and she was making it sound how unbearable it was to tag along, all in good fun. I also told some funny and sweet stories about her and agreed with her saying that I can be difficult to be with sometimes. Mary came to me and hugged me tightly and told me that she loves me and I'm her work husband. It was all innocent on surface, but she might have been a bit drunk and just didn't let go of her tight hug. Also, I hate that phrase, as I do have a wife that I promise to be with forever and not just in non-working hours. After a few seconds, I started becoming uncomfortable and also saw a few people staring at us. So, to diffuse the situation, I took her hands off my shoulder and told her she was my work sister and that is why I love to annoy her so much. That seemed to have upset Mary, and she left and went back to her desk and was sobbing silently. I tried to apologize to her, but she told me how embarrassing the whole situation was. She said that she just meant work husband in a platonic way, but me calling her work sister made her sound like a creep in front of the whole office. She was also angry that I aggressively removed her hands from my shoulders while hugging. I tried to reason with her that I do not like the work husband phrase, and also people gave dirty looks when she said it. So I was trying to make sure people do not take her words in the wrong way. We talked for a few minutes afterwards and Mary calmed down, she hugged me again and left. I felt really guilty afterwards because I can see Mary's point. I made her sound like a creep by implying that she meant something inappropriate when she called me her work husband. However, I was a bit uncomfortable in that situation and just did not want people to call us that or assume something wrong. Am I the a-hole for calling Mary my work sister? I'm sitting in my office writing this and a bit worried if I embarrassed Mary in front of everyone. And there's an updated post. Okay, so the top thing says, I think you meant to ask in your last sentence if you were the a-hole for calling her your work sister, not work wife. Regardless, no, you're not the a-hole. All too often, work spouses end up being inappropriately involved and you're trying to head off any rumors. Good on you. I think work sister is a much better term. I agree. I don't like work sister, or I don't like work husband or work wife. I think it's just crossing a line. Like, I know that it's innocent and it's become like a common thing, but I don't think that it should, like, I don't know. I just don't like it. I feel like people take husband and wife really, like, casually. Like, it should be taken more seriously, and it shouldn't be compared to, like, a coworker. Because, yeah, you're with someone a lot, and, like, you have to put up with a lot, but they shouldn't be on the same level, even if it's just, like, at work. But maybe that's just me not taking things in, like, a fun way. But, yeah, I don't think you're the a-hole. But there's a whole nother, oh my gosh, there's a very long one that's the update. So let's go ahead and read the update. I posted this earlier about calling my coworker Mary my work sister after she tried to call me her work husband in front of the entire office. Which, by the way, I don't think she should have ever done that and put you in that situation. A lot of you are asking for an update, but that sub does not allow me to post updates, so I'm writing it here. Thanks for your comments and giving me confidence that I did not do anything wrong or inappropriate. As I was sitting in my office the next day, I knew things would be a bit awkward between Mary and me. Mary ignored me the whole morning. Initially, I was planning to go and apologize to her, but after the post, I decided that I do not need to do that as I should not be the one who was offended. Everyone in the office could see that we were acting weird, and I heard some people gossiping about us. One of the ladies also came to me and asked me if I want to talk about Mary and me. Around 3 p.m. in the afternoon, I was sitting in my office working. Mary came into my office and closed the door behind her. She was angry at me and started saying that I needed to stop being an a-hole and stop ignoring her. I told her to sit and to talk about what is going on. She told me that she feels humiliated and everyone has been staring at her the whole morning because of what I did. I also stood my ground and told her that I was okay with her making fun of me, but calling me her work husband and hugging me in front of everyone for a long time made the situation awkward. She told me to get over myself and that I should know exactly what she meant. Don't like that. I feel like that sounds like she knows she did something wrong and she was trying to test the boundary and it didn't go her way, so she's like gaslighting you, low key, but anyway. Mary said that I made a big deal of what was supposed to be a joke and made it awkward for everyone. She said calling someone work husband is a normal thing and just means that she knows me intimately like a spouse would. She said that because we spend so much time traveling together, she knows all the intimate details of how I behave outside work. I stopped her and told her that I felt offended by the term work husband because I have a wife and I do not want people to use that term to describe our relationship. I told her that she would not understand as she is single, but as a married man, I really do not want anyone to describe me as a husband in any capacity. She said that I am again misinterpreting what she was saying. She felt that we have known each other more time than I have been married, so she knows me more intimately than even my wife. Oh my. Sorry, I added the oh my, obviously. I have no idea why she feels that way. And I also behave like her husband when we travel together. She went on about how we go out to dinners together after work, how I always insist on having breakfast together in the morning. I do this to plan our actions for the day, and I walk around in my underwear, referring to my gym shorts, around her in mornings. She also talks about how we spend hours talking to each other during road trips and how I'm the only man she can trust with any secret in her life. She said that I am the definition of work husband and I am just in denial. I was a bit angry at this point. I told her that I do all that because I consider her my friend, and she is delusional. She feels she knows me more intimately than my wife. I told her I do not want to hear that term again, and it is extremely disrespectful to my marriage. Only one woman gets to call me her husband, and that is my wife. Moreover, if my actions are giving her such ideas, maybe we need to stop being friends. She became apologetic afterwards and told me that she did not mean to disrespect my wife, and it was not her intention. She apologized to me and told me to just let it go. She said that she loves traveling with me and she does not want anything to change between us. She again said that I am misinterpreting her statement and just wants to move on. She came to hug me again, but I just told her it was okay and stepped back. I also talked to my wife about the incident that night. As expected, my wife was angry about Mary and told me that she hates the term work husband. She asked me if Mary has ever flirted with me during our trips or has a crush on me. I truthfully told her that I really have not felt that way, and she may have just said that because she was a bit drunk and is now being stubborn about it. My wife said that she feels a bit uncomfortable about Mary now and says that it's strike one for Mary and I need to try and put more distance between us while traveling. If she ever repeats the same behavior again, I should report her to HR. I promised my wife that I would try to reduce my interactions with Mary outside work hours and be more guarded around her. There's another update. Thanks everyone for the comments and explaining the urgency of the situation. I discussed it with my wife and have set up meetings with my manager and HR today. I plan to not file a complaint but document what happened last week and why it made me uncomfortable. I do not have any upcoming travels this week due to holidays, but have to travel next Tuesday with her to a work site. I will discuss with my manager on what my options are. However, I feel a little distance between Mary and me for the time will be the right situation for now. I agree. I don't think that you're in the wrong. I think Mary's in the wrong, and I don't think it would have been like necessary to go to HR until she came into your office. If it was just like that one situation, not. But I mean, like you can go to HR for anything. Um, but yeah, since she came in and made you uncomfortable, but I think you did the right thing. Telling your wife is the right thing, even if she's upset. I would be upset if I was your wife. Like, I totally get it. So I'm totally with you on this. Someone commented and said, Mary's description of your relationship sounds really clingy and dependent. She has created a narrative in her head about your connection. The quote unquote, the only man she can trust with any secret in her life, quote, that's not a work husband, whatever that means. You better keep your interactions registered in public. This can bite you in the butt very fast. Yeah, so that's why he's documenting it. Agreed. This was a really long one, but what are your thoughts on the work husband, work wife thing? I'm going to be really interested in that. As you guys know, I just left the corporate world, so I have some experience with like other people saying that, and like I have had friends that I travel with and such, or like I spend all day with that are like males, and yeah, even then, like we're close and friends and stuff, and like yeah, I still wouldn't be say that because that's gross. I don't like it. I'm sorry. Next one. Am I the a-hole for not letting my husband bring his mom to work? My husband, 30 male, works as a lecturer in local university. Sometimes he has classes in another city, which is approximately an hour away. Whenever he does, he always brings his mom, who is 60-ish. His mom waits in the car, and after his class ends, they go shopping to a nearby mall and eat at a restaurant. I said to him and his mom he shouldn't do that because he looks unprofessional if his colleague or student knows that. He can go without her on weekend or he can go out with her on the weekend or any other time. While on the other hand, his mom is a widow and really enjoys the quality time with my husband. Am I the a-hole? Edits to add. One, mother-in-law can accompany him on weekend or any other time. I just thought, why doesn't she join him after his class instead of waiting the whole time? 2. Some comments remind me that he always reschedules or changes it to online class whenever his mom can't accompany him. Maybe that's why I thought it was weird. He said the student never complains because they prefer online class anyway. That's why I forgot to include it in the original post. I did to add 2. I know from my post I am an a-hole and weirdo for asking. I clearly have no idea about academia and it has nothing to do with me. I just thought it was weird because of my logic. I compare it as I bring my parent to cubicle work desks and you guys say that's just not the case and I understand. But those who said I am jealous be to my mother-in-law, immature and controlling. Geez, it's not like I never let my husband meet my mother-in-law on weekend or dinner, and we just got home from her house today eating dinner, so no argument or anything. Um, yeah, I can kind of see both sides. I think that maybe Reddit is taking it more, like, seriously than the poster did, because it sounds like the poster is like, cool, this is, like, weird. Like, if we were, if I brought my mom to work with me, people would be like, oh, you brought your mom? That's weird. The only thing that's weird to me is that she sits in the car and waits for, like, the entirety of it. I understand the road trip. I understand getting food and stuff. Like, I still do that stuff with my mom. It's the waiting in the car that's kind of weird for me. Um, but yeah, everyone's saying they're the a-hole. And this is the top comment that explains why. You're the a-hole. It hurts knowing that she goes with him. She waits in the car. It's not like she's in the lecture just trusting or interrupting. No one cares except you. His colleague will give 0 Fs. You clearly have never worked in academia, if they even notice. And his student won't care. Why would they? If anything, they might think it's nice of him to spend time with his mom. You're weird and are jealous of your mother-in-law spending time with her son. If you ever have kids, can you imagine their spouses not wanting them to spend time with you? I think that they're taking that a bit out of proportion. Like, I really don't. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it's weird, but I also feel like it's not. Like, I think it's just, I don't know. Maybe that's just me being sick and not having the right judgment. I want to know your thoughts on this. Because, yeah, like, I don't think it's weird except for her, like, waiting in the car. I've worked in academia, and I don't think it's weird. I think that, like, if students did see it, they may, like, kind of make fun of him a little bit. But from, like, a colleague standpoint, I do agree that, like, no one really cares. But yeah, I don't know. That one's a weird one. What are your thoughts on that? Am I the a-hole for making my boyfriend lunch for work? Hi, I, 23 female, and my boyfriend, 23 male, live together in a studio apartment. For his birthday, I got him 3 things. He's really into art, so I got him something he really wanted to work on his art. I got him a unique mug, and I got him a lunchbox. He has been complaining that he was having a hard time bringing lunch to work because he didn't have one. I know it isn't a glamorous gift, but I thought it would be a helpful one. Also, my birthday was back in January, and he didn't even get me a birthday gift due to financial issues. Anyway, he was very disappointed when he opened the lunchbox gift and was very upset I got it for him. I explained why, and he was still upset. His birthday was on a Friday, so on Monday I guess I wasn't thinking about it. I woke up early and made him his lunch in the lunchbox I got him. He became extremely pissed off, telling me that he didn't even eat lunch week because his teeth were bothering him, and so because I didn't remember, he was even more mad. He then went on a whole rant, making rude comments at me, demeaning my gift, and saying I don't listen to him when I talk. While I was just trying to be helpful and can't remember everything, he says to me, I also didn't just get him a lunchbox, I got him other things he wanted. Oh, he says to me, I also didn't get him a lunchbox, I got him other things he wanted. Am I the a-hole? You're not the a-hole. Honestly, it sounds like your boyfriend's really immature, and maybe, like, at one point he mentioned he wanted something, and you didn't get it for him, and he thought it was that thing. Oh, someone said something else, like, said the same thing. You're not the a-hole, your boyfriend sounds like an ungrateful jerk. What did he want instead of a lunchbox? That was a very thoughtful gift. And the OP says, all he wanted was art stuff, which I got him. So, yeah, it just sounds like he's being really ungrateful. And especially since he didn't get you anything for your birthday, that gives me the ick. Like, ew, you're not the a-hole, he is. Am I the a-hole for yelling at my daughter at her work? Oh no. I, 48 female, have a daughter, Ella, 18 female, who works at an ice cream store. A few months ago, she came up with the idea of me coming into the place she works and being rude to her so that the other customers in line feel bad for her and will give her more tips. I thought it was a funny idea, so I decided to do it. The number of tips she's gotten has dramatically increased, and so I was telling the story to my sister. She got really mad at me and called me a con artist, but I don't think I am one, because we're not even asking for more money. We're just giving people more of an incentive to tip her. Ooh, I don't like this. No. You're yelling at your daughter to get her more tips. Ew. Someone said you're the a-hole. You are a con artist. You're intentionally going in there, making a scene so people will tip your daughter more. What kind of example are you setting for your daughter? You're the a-hole, and eventually the owners will catch on something is going on, and all will be found out. She deserves to lose her job, and I hope someone films you in the act and you go viral for all the wrong reasons. You're a terrible parent. That's what I was thinking. Like, she doesn't even care about how people view her as a parent. Like, I don't know. If I was, like, a mom, also, I wouldn't be, like, you shouldn't teach your kid to, like, get yelled at. I kind of feel like that's a shortcut. Like, you should be teaching your kid to, like, be really good at their job and really kind and, like, really helpful. And those are things that are going to get her tipped more than just, like, that. So, I don't like that. Don't like that. Yeah. No. Everyone said you're the a-hole, so that's good. Am I the a-hole for working from home while my husband is off for the summer? Trying to work out if pregnancy hormones have me all out of whack. I'm a 30 female, usually work from home, and my husband, 30 male, is a teacher, so has school holidays off. Last summer we lived in a different house with a dedicated office, whereas this year I'm working from the dining table in the living room. And she gave like an edit to what the house is, so this is the layout of the house. The rooms upstairs are a small library with no desk space. My husband specifically wanted this as a library, so I'm not allowed to change it. It's a bit small for an office anyway, as it has a built-in bed and no floor space. The room we keep our house rabbits in, oh my gosh, same, which has a sitting area in. I can't work in there because rabbits and wires really don't mix. This is a room we're both happy with exactly the way it is, and it suits us in the buns. Number 3, the bedroom, which isn't appropriate for work, and I've had to ask him to get up at the same time as me. Or I'd have to ask him to get up at the same time as me. 4, the attic room, aka recording studio. This would be perfect, but he needs the space for the recording setup. Plus, it doesn't have a door, so it isn't private enough, and I'm just about to enter the 3rd trimester, so getting up and down the ladder is going to be really uncomfortable and not that safe. My employer knows about the situation and the current setup, and is fine with it, as he has the same kind of setup. We only have this issue for 6 weeks out of the year, as my husband knows the nature of my work. We're a startup, so we don't have any official premises that I could go to. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Up until now, this hasn't been a problem in the school holidays, as my husband typically only has 1 or 2 weeks off and wants to make the most of it outside of or out with friends. If my husband wants to stay in during the day, there are some restrictions on where he can access the living room and therefore kitchen because I take calls that no one can overhear for that part of the day. Unfortunately, there are no other suitable rooms for me to work in. And to be honest, I'm not sure I should be made to leave my usual work environment because of his work patterns. This morning, he's already had a go at me about 2 unrelated issues and become really annoyed that he couldn't come into the living space to empty the vacuum or use the dishwasher. He wants me to tell him when my calls are every morning so that he knows when he can't enter, which is absolutely fine, but a lot of my calls are unplanned, and there's only so much I can do about that. I feel like I'm being pushed out of my office, and while I'm really open to compromise and share my space, there are some restrictions I can't really alter because of my job. Probably worth noting that he has 2 full floors, including his music studio to use, plus the entire rest of the world out of the front door, so I feel that using living space for most of the day is kind of unfair, is kind of fair. He can, of course, do what he likes when I'm not on call during my lunch break. What do you think? Am I the a-hole? Do I need to look into expensive co-working spaces to work in over the summer? Yeah, so I don't think you're the a-hole. I think you're making the best of what you have. Someone made the comment of, so you have a library, but it's for husband. You have a spare room, but it's for pets. You have an attic space, but it's for husband. Sounds as if husband gets what he wants, and shame on you for working in the only available space. Nice. Not the a-hole. Is your husband going to allow your baby to have a room? That's a fair point. Like, where are they going to put the baby? A lot of people are just saying the same thing about, like, why does your husband have so much control over the house? Like, why does, like, he get all these spaces and you don't? And I agree. He seems very controlling. So yeah, I don't think you're the a-hole. I think you're making the best out of the situation, and yeah, I think that's all I'm gonna do because I don't think my voice can do anymore, unfortunately, but I'll hopefully be able to do more in later episodes. I'm hopefully gonna be better soon, but I want to know your thoughts on all these. I want to know your opinions. I want to know what you think of these work Am I the a-holes. The next ones will hopefully be a little bit more interesting. I just kind of have had to fly by the seat of my pants until I feel better, so hopefully that's going to be soon. But I love you guys so much. I'm so glad to be back. I hope that you have had a good couple of weeks, since it has been like literally 2 weeks since I sat down and filmed. I'm so happy to be back. But that's pretty much it. I love you guys. Don't forget to follow on Instagram, TikTok, all the things. I'll link them down below, as well as on the platform you're currently listening on. Don't forget to leave a rating and review because I do want to hear from you and know your thoughts. If you're loving these more storytime episodes, if you missed the advice episodes, where your head is at with that. But that's pretty much it. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys on Sunday with my next podcast episode. Bye, guys.